Hello, my name is Meg Levu, and I'm just a passionate storyteller trying to be the bridge, not the monument. In this episode, we're discussing believing in what's possible. Welcome to the lab. Happy New Year! Good morning, and welcome to the first episode, the season premiere of Get in the Lab. We're starting every episode, I believe, with a little bit of movement or maybe something different. I don't know, it's an experiment. We're in the lab. So in this episode, we're going to talk about believing in what is possible. So come on, let's get in the lab. It's New Year's. We're setting New Year's resolutions. Let's get in the lab. Ooh, back in the lab. Have you ever been so inspired by something or someone, but then you find out what it takes and you're like, and it sucks because you were so excited, you were so motivated, you saw the possibility for like a split second. Maybe it takes a lot of money, maybe it takes a lot of equipment, maybe it takes new tools, maybe it takes learning all these new different concepts. Anyway, now that thing that inspired you is now something that scares the shit out of you. Let me tell you a story about Korean food. When I was 15, I was actually practicing a lot of Taekwondo. I was surrounded a lot by Korean culture. And when I was 15, I tasted boba for the first time. We went to Koreatown. We were tasting Korean barbecue. We were tasting that soft tofu stew that everybody loves at BDC. Man, it was amazing. I fell in love with it. I was in love with the culture. I was in love with so much of that at that time. But as time moved on, I moved away from not only martial arts, but the culture, the people, and the food. Going out to Korean food was just a going out thing. And as I got older, I got less and less interested in going out. I was settling more into home cooking and learning how to cook for myself. So over time, I just really lost that connection. Fast forward to like 2 weeks ago, I discovered Mang Chi, and she's this really huge Korean cooking channel on YouTube. And I was really late, obviously. I didn't know about her until 2 weeks ago. And when I found her, man, she was so funny and endearing and charming, and watching her channel just really, it brought me back to when I was 15, surrounded by, my Korean masters. And they're just so funny the way that they say things sometimes, aren't they? So, when I saw this channel, I was inspired, and I was like, oh man, she makes it look so easy. And I just know from experience that cooking isn't always easy. I was so inspired by her that I bought her book and I started reading. And I read about her story and how she came here and how she moved back there to Korea and how she came back here to America. And it was just such a charming story. It was so endearing and so inspiring. It just inspired me to go, okay, let's go try to make some of this stuff. She's showing me everything that I need to do. I just want to make this one dish, because I love this one dish, which is called japchae. So I was like, okay, let's go to the market and get these ingredients. Fast forward now to a couple of days ago, and I cooked my first japchae at home. And it was amazing. It was a success, and I was just so shocked at kind of like myself, and the fact that it wasn't that hard. I always thought that Korean cooking was just difficult, and it has a lot of ingredients, but I just put it out of my mind. Like, that's something that you go out for, that you don't even bother with, that you don't even want to bring into, even though you kind of do. Now it kind of sparked this thing in my mind where it's like, oh yeah, everything is possible. Everything is possible, which is a really fun and kind of almost indescribable feeling where you start to believe things are possible, right? And this not only relates to the cooking, but when you have those moments in business, or you have those moments in your relationship, or you have those moments just in your own personal goals for yourself, and you go, oh wow, I actually can rock climb when I would just never, I'm afraid of heights, I could never do that before, or I actually can swim a couple of laps and not drown from my own anxiety. This feeling of smashing the old perceptions of yourself, which is something that we have here hanging on the wall, I think is really special. And with us going into 2016, that's something I wanted to share with you guys, and for you guys to kind of wake up to those moments when they happen in your life, because once you get into the habit of creating those moments for yourself, creating opportunity and possibility for yourself, it's really quite magical. So for you guys, starting something new, it's kind of asking for stress, right? Regardless whether it's a success or not, it's kind of asking for stress. So here's a way to kind of sidestep that stress when it happens. Okay, so number one, for sure, it's got to be fun. You have to have a good time. Even though you mess up, even though you cut something the wrong way, or you mess these, settings up or whatever, you got to have fun. You got to let go. Otherwise, if you're not going to have fun, you're going to ruin the experience for yourself and not want to even try it again. Okay, so have fun. Number two, invite somebody along who can make it fun. Maybe you're not that fun by yourself. Maybe you're too wound up and kind of stressful upon yourself because you want to get things right. Invite somebody over who always makes it a good time. This is why I invited my sister over when I made japchae for the first time. Because I can have fun by myself and cook by myself, and I don't really put too much stress on myself. But I know what if I invite my sister, I'm gonna have the most fun time because we can make anything hilarious. Even messing up on our assembling our shoe bench, we made that hilarious. If I did that with Kevin, we would be really mad at each other. Probably really frustrated with each other. So invite somebody over who can make it a good time. And number three kind of sums up everything, but expect to mess up. Expect it. Expect not to get it perfect. Strive for perfection. Do your best. You're trying something new. You're setting these new goals, but expect to mess up and be okay with it. I was expecting to mess up, okay, yeah, we didn't have spinach. Okay, yeah, I didn't have the right meat. Okay, yeah, I didn't have this and that. I don't care. I'm going to do the best I can with what I have, and it's the first time I'm making it. Cut me some slack. So, little by little, all these little actions that you're doing, you're kind of training yourself to create more and more possibility and good vibes and good energy for yourself in this new year, moving forward. Because you know what? Being happy and making decision to be happy is a decision, right? You have to choose to not be angry with that. You can choose to let it go and just move on with your day, which is something I'm trying to work on, and forgive a lot faster because I have such a hard time doing that, but I'm owning up to that and trying to not do that and trying to sidestep it and go, you know what, focus on the good. There was a moment that I had when I was cleaning the other day, and I was cleaning and I was like, I see this spot on the floor that is always freaking dirty because somebody doesn't clean it, right? I'm not talking about Kevin. And I was like, I'm not gonna clean that. Why should I clean that? What the hell? I'm not your fucking maid. You know what I mean? And then I said, wait a minute. I hate feeling like this. So why do I feel like this? And I started to self-analyze like I do. And I said, you know what? There are tons of people out there who would be so happy to complain about a stain on this magnificent house that we have. So take the 2 seconds that it takes to clean up after them. Who the fuck cares? Move on with your life. And so, I was like, okay. It's a little tough love on myself for bitching about something so small that was actually really stressing me out. But you see how we create these little worlds that you really don't need to stress about that stuff. And so maybe you guys have a situation like that where this little thing that really irks you, but it's really not a big deal, and it's really not a big deal, so you kind of have to talk yourself out of it. Anyway, that's what I'm saying. So little by little, you're starting new things, whether it's setting new goals or forgiving faster or just making better decisions in your life to be happier for yourself and create more opportunity for yourself and positivity. It may seem like uncharted, territory all the time, for me to forgive faster. I feel like I'm giving away my power when I do that, but then I realize that's silly. And I go, you know what? It just feels weird, or it feels, like I'm weakening myself because it's uncharted territory. I really don't do that. And it's kind of like a video game, you can kind of look at it like that. So when you play a new video game and they have a little map over here and you can't see the rest of the map because you haven't gone there yet. It's uncharted territory until you start to slowly move forward and check it out. And then it gets revealed to you, right? So, okay, cool, I've been there before. Anyway, that was my little, Korean cooking adventure story time with you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And after that, man, I wonder what else is possible. What other cultures of food can I bring into here besides Filipino food and American food, Korean food? Like, what's next for me? I guess anything is possible. So what about you? Can you share a moment where you started to believe in the possibilities? Man, it's such a cool feeling where it's something kind of small like that, like, cooking Korean food for the first time, or maybe it's something huge like, wow, my husband actually believes in what I'm doing. That feels great. Share that with me in the comments. I'd love to hear it. You can even, share a selfie so I know who I'm talking to. I don't think you can do that in YouTube. But anyway, I had a great time hanging out with you guys. Once again, my name is Megan, reminding you to get in the lab. We'll see ya. Hey guys, thanks so much for taking the time to watch episode 1 of season 4 of Get in the Lab. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave me a like on this video and share it with any friends or family who might need a little bit of help with their New Year's resolutions and setting goals. As we're all setting goals and resolutions, it gets a little overwhelming, doesn't it? So let them know that we have their support in hand. Little bastard. Freaking. Always interrupting my videos.